Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to the series of the trustee cases. This is episode 527, trustee case. It's definitely one of those cases where, uh, actually, an interesting case nonetheless. So, we definitely appreciate you all for tuning in live, listen, replay. Feel free to type your comments or questions into the chat. We'll answer those questions in the chat. Feel free, to do that, and we'll reply. Feel free to reach out to Trustee Training. Maybe this case may apply to you, maybe it doesn't. So, we're gonna double back on family that we have reach out to us. It was actually a mother, uh, so individual once again, but had three children. Three children. One was, excuse us. One was less than 23. The one that was right under at that time was still in high school. They're in college now. And the other one was just in high school, whatever. So they're in high school, ready to graduate high school, possibly, whatever. Nevertheless, family, mother is entrepreneur, actually came to us with an actual cleaning company when they first came to us. So that's something that most people would be impressed with. They actually had a franchise for cleaning companies. So how do you put trusteeship implementation and thought process into a franchise when those franchises are not easy to just throw those in trusteeship? So those are things that you definitely have to be prepared for, especially someone else on a late come to trusteeship, but they're already in a contract with the franchisor for the franchise. So definitely ran into those situations and had to help them get around those situations. It wasn't like unbearable. It wasn't rocket science. It wasn't hard. It was actually putting them in contact with our team once again. So they had a story. They were entrepreneurs. Y'all kind of heard their story. The family mother, quote unquote, over uh, they're over 40 now, so it doesn't matter. It just they're not 50, but they're over 40, and so you can see the demo of who's reaching out, having children, and so it doesn't. This particular case definitely wasn't a multimillionaire. Once again, definitely was not a multimillionaire. Uh, Somebody that they didn't, but they actually, what helped them out was they actually previously were involved in insurance. So they got enrolled in trustee training. They got connected with one of our senior mentors and business partners, uh, uh, Victor, and pretty much started working with Victor. And so this particular individual and family case, they work with Victor now. So people have come through for years and they say, "Oh, I want to do what you do, Trust Christian and Vote. I want to do what you do." Well, this particular trustee actually came through and started doing aspects of what we do, which is providing support to the vault by being able to work with the senior mentor in trusteeship when it comes with the insurance, and being enrolled in trustee training. They can have clients that need trustee training to be in trustee training. At the same time, now that trustee actually pivoted, literally left the cleaning company, and went over into business with Victor. Yeah, I wonder how sweet it is. Oh, we know how sweet it is with Victor. They pivoted. Okay, it's no, oh man, Trust Christian Revolt. Could it be true? 100%. This trustee has pivoted. They do not have a cleaning company that we're aware of. They've sold that off. And they are doing insurance with Victor full time, and consulting full time. They're able to do that. And so you say, okay, how are they operating? Now they're literally operating, helping families establish private family banks. They obviously had a network from whoever or whatever previous dealings they had, and so that's how that looks. This family has showed up to the workshop. All the family members, the high school child, the middle child, and the oldest child have all showed up to a workshop. So if people ask, well, how many or who comes to the workshops, literally that's what that case looks like. They've come to a workshop that we've had, one of the quarterly workshops. They've been on the line all at the same time for working together to build management within the family, knowing that the mother wants the children to be trustees, basically, or at least have an idea. So you get a lot of the cases where, in this particular case, the mother, the senior trustee, wanted the children to be aware. So there is some reading involved for the children. There are some lessons that we've imparted verbally and audio to them that they've listened to as well. Once again, they've come to a workshop and sat literally through an 8 hour workshop. So yes, they were dedicated. And so as you can see, that is a case where a family has come through. What is the demo that you see of people that are coming through, and how their case is going to look like? Everybody's case is not the same. Oh, they're in trusteeship. Yes, they're in family trusteeship. Did they need more than one trust again? Once again, did they need more than two or three? These are the questions you have that can be posed in our position, because people say, "Oh, I don't know what I need to reach out for. I don't know what I need to do." Well, enrolling in a trustee training, they're in trusteeship. Whether they need to be in multiple, that's based off of their need and their wanting to manage. But from the beginning, they definitely wanted to be in trusteeship. They're in trusteeship. They've come to the workshops. She's pivoted and went full time into basically private trust consulting through what is that? Through basically through the private family banking route. She literally asked people, "You want to make money by paying your bills?" That's how confident. That's how our private trustees talk to their private networks now. Do you want to make money by paying bills? Like somebody that doesn't make any money, that doesn't matter to them. Somebody that's making some money, they care about making more money. And by that being the case, they definitely say, yes, I want to know more how. And that's through private family banking. That's through a private banking system. And so we have trustees that have pivoted from one business and went to the next. The cleaning company, what is it, a $10,000 to $30,000 revenue in a month business? So someone sells off that position going 20 $30,000 revenue. Sure, you can count employees, you can count cost, you all can Google what's the average margins in a franchise for a cleaning company. That's what can be Googled. And so they pivoted because they see the margins, they see the opportunities in other areas. And how does trusteeship help? Trusteeship helps in this particular case for this family. Definitely wanted asset protection. uh, they wanted to be in more of a position where, uh, once again, see, families that are in these particular cases, as you can see, they had someone that was a working age. So they did have someone that was a working age. So that means they can contribute to the family estate, the family trusteeship situation. So that was the case. Is you see families that are in that position now that are working together in the family estate position. And so they're doing that sometimes, once again, where you see the mother in this particular case, and it's not the same for every mother, quote unquote, but in this particular case, they wanted their children to be involved, and they were involved, and the children were involved with wanting to learn and getting those pieces of information to where it's a wet behind the ears. Hey, you guys have a great knowledge base now compared to the average human being walking around. So they gave their children, and we work with them and their family to help them and their children to be in that position where their children are up to speed. They're aware of, oh, there is a public trusteeship, there is a private trusteeship. Their children are aware of that. They may not be completely, obviously, dictated back in any type of legal sense or anything of that nature. But when we work with the families, highly effective in them being able to distinguish that, being able to distinguish trusteeship from non-trusteeship. That is definitely important. They become their business acumen becomes heightened because the family's focused on doing more business strategized thought process when it comes to not just finance in the family, but decision making for living situations, decision making overall. So that just goes back to what we work with the families with when it comes to communication. We help the families out in their communication. There's no doubt about it. You have to help the families in their communication between multiple generations, ladies and gentlemen. This particular case, you have multiple. You have two generations, and even still, we talk to this family still to this day, and they have communication issues. And you say, "Oh man, is that good, Trust Christian?" Look, we're addressing the fact that they're having to solve communication issues like every family does. No family's perfect, but there are communication issues, and those things can be solved. We've helped them solve issues. They are going to solve those issues as they grow in their trusteeship, but they're a lot further along, a lot further ahead, and their communication than they were before the training. No doubt about it. And that's because they understand that they have roles. Uh, and that's important, and people have a better idea of how they're going to inherit money or not inherit money. So when you see family members that have businesses, uh, such as this individual did, and they're just like, hey, I'm not going to just give you any assets directly, and they told their children that, well, their children obviously put their nose up and said, hey, we need to find out what's going on. And so their children definitely have found out what's going on, and so now that trustee can lay their head at night in peace, and still not only that, they're working actually back out on the pavement to set the precedent. Because once you get in trusteeship, ladies and gentlemen, you don't quit business. You're just in a proper position. You're in a different position now. Whereas if you just kept doing what you're doing, you just kept doing what you're doing. If you go in trusteeship, you just go, you know, there's some things that change, management wise, quote unquote, ownership wise, and then we get right back to quote unquote growing. And so that definitely looks like in this particular case where they went through the system rather quickly. We'll say somebody says, how long did it take for this family to be in full trusteeship? It took them to be in full trusteeship in less than 6 months. And so a lot of the cases are always going to be less than 90 days for, not always, but most of the cases are going to be in less than 90 days. But ladies and gentlemen, we've had to play around with that trustee training policy for a long time now. Do we do 6 months? Do we do 3 months? Do we do a year? Because you want trustees to take it seriously because entrepreneurs are busy, and it just comes down to literally just tailoring the plan to each trustee. And we've seen that over and over in case by case. You either can do multiple meetings or you can do one meeting, and we're just going to continue to work with trustees on that basis, which is what works for you in trusteeship. Because no lawyer, most cases, most lawyers aren't going to hold your hand. So if they're not going to hold your hand, we're here to hold your hand because we got the team to hold your hand that's going to help support your story and the structure that you're putting together. So we look forward to hearing from you all. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Thank you for listening to the episodes of the trustee cases. Look forward to bringing you all more trustee cases. Just know that these families all are good to go. That we literally are telling you success stories. Some people may say, how wrong is that for you to say only success stories? But we're sharing success stories because that's what we produce. Success stories. We're not here to fail. We're here to work with people and continue their success, aid them on their success, and look forward to